Okay, so we're back. Little update. I was planning on going back on the 21st for the Farsley game. Change of plan. We're going to come back to the Altrincham FA Trophy game, and then play Farsley after that, and then play Curzon, Bradford and Geesley off camera. Because I think it'll probably be better for spacing of the episodes. So get these 2 episodes in now, get these 2 matches in now, and then get these 3 on another break in the show. In the playthrough. As you can see with the last 2 games here, my mouse is being weird again. I'm doing that all day for some reason. Yeah, as you can see here, got 2 wins in the last 2 games. That's not all. After our game against Kidderminster, I set up a small friendly against a team called Pinchbeck United in the United Counties Premier. It's like the 12th, 11th tier, something like that. But since then, we beat Spennymoor 2-1, beat Hyde 2-0, beat Leamington 4-1, and then beat Telford 4-2. Okay, it doesn't work. And obviously, as you can see, some games are doing better than others. So you can see the results. Or resize all columns. There we go. As you can see, we got Dallas to score 2 in the Leamington game with Maycock. Got goal each for all of these players. Adebayo Smith did well in the Pinchbeck friendly. And then 2-1 against Spennymoor with Orlando Brown Cook. And got Dallas and Victor Fundy. Did end up signing him, mainly on a non-contract, so if he doesn't, progress we need him to, he won't play for much longer. Obviously, we've made a fair few new signings, such as obviously that Orlando Brown. We made him a new signing. There's a couple more. Mikel Parker, good defender. We brought him in as well. Oh, George Willis was on St Mirren. Yeah, we'll put George Willis out for a transfer so that he can get picked up by St Mirren, because we are in desperate needs of funds at the minute. There's also a couple more. We did bring in Matteo Arambaru, but obviously, as you can see, he's not doing all that well. We also brought in Raheem Hanley and Anis Abdo. Now, Raheem Hanley's £15,000. He's a fairly good player. He should be able to fit into the team fairly easily, I think. And the development centre, we've got these players. You can see you've got Dwight Pascal, Jazz Wallace, Jack Chalice, and Joe Coveney, of the actual players that are in the team and not just part of a reserves group. We've also got a few called like Jacob Jenkinson, Sturgis, Everington, and Foster, who, yeah, they're not that great. I've also got some youth candidates coming through soon. But I've had a thought to myself during the time off, and I think that after my 9-month contract is up in June, I'll move on. I don't think this is the right fit for me. I don't think I'm going to progress well enough. And I think to progress the series on, I'm going to have to look for a new club as quickly as possible. So I will probably be looking at moving up to either the National or League 2 as a full manager. And then thinking of that, obviously, there's also the opportunity to, go to job security. There's also the opportunity of going to another country. Like, for instance, you can see lots of jobs open in other countries like Italian Serie B and Bundesliga, Lega 2, Ladbrokes League 1, that sort of thing. These are jobs that I could look into. Unlikely I'll get them, for obvious reasons. But it's possible. It's a job that is open for a time being. And Rochdale could actually drop into League 2. And if they do that, I could quite easily move into them as a manager. Carlisle could move into the National League. I could manage them, pull them back into League 2 and move on to another team after that. But then the problem with, trying to fit everything in. So, we'll get to this game first, and obviously that'll come at a later date. This is the team I'll play in this game. This is the team that's played the last 3 games, I think. And it's a fairly strong team, I have to admit. There's not a lot in this team I am unhappy about with what they've been doing. Players like Anis Abdo won't play yet. I think they'll give him a little bit of time before I put him in the team. And Matteo Rambaru, unfortunately, hasn't got a work permit. We won't get one for him until at earliest of March. So we're going to have to look into loaning him out or selling him on at the end of his deal, because unfortunately we don't have the ability to bring him a work permit so far. So my plan for this game is simply not to lose, really, because we've got to the first round. That's all we had to do. I think could be this or the second round, either one doesn't matter. This is all I had to do. No opposition, okay. So we're going to obviously look into this game as another league game, because essentially what it is. Okay, sounded off. It is another league game, essentially, because Altrincham are in our league. They are in the Vanarama National North. We have to look at this game the same way we look at every league game if we're going to win it. That's why I put the same team I put out in the league, because I want a chance to actually progress. Oh, you're kidding me. An injury in the only position I have no substitute for. Right, I'm going to bring on Victor Fundi then, in place of him, and put myself into a 4-2-2-2. Confirm the changes. That's a bit annoying, but hopefully with another striker we can actually maybe score a goal then. I mean, Matt Carter is our best centre mid, so we are missing a very important cog in our machine. And with Whittle at left back, he's not been playing great in the last few games. I mean, he's come off the field every single one with less than 6.6 rating in each of them. So I just need to try and work out the best player to play in that role. And I mean, he's the only player who can play in that role. As you can see, he's not great. Kalambe, however, is very great. And as you can see, he's kept that out of the goal and even away a corner, admittedly, but saved us from going 1-0 down in 24 minutes. Make up with a header away to Dallas. Good ball forward from him. Doesn't get to anyone, obviously, because there's no highlight. But as I said, I want to progress in this competition so we can gain a bit of money for the club, because in the last few months, prior to November, we'd been making a steady profit every single month of at least £20,000. Then November hit, and we had a huge deduction in profits, down to negative £15,000, meaning somehow we had spent over £35,000 somewhere that needed to be returned. And obviously that's quite difficult in a club with very little in the way of sponsorship money, TV money, and all that sort of stuff. We went out in the FA Cup fourth qualifying round, as you saw in the last video against Boreham Wood. And in the league, we've only just clawed our way out of the relegation zone, so we really need to work on trying to produce some form of income for the club that's not going to be reliant on selling off players. Because other than Willis, I have no real players I need to sell off and or want to. Because either the players that aren't very good are either on a non-contract deal, oh, good header from Dallas, or they are not really worth enough to pull in enough money. And the players that are able to pull in enough money are not players I want to see go. So we're in a bit of a predicament here. Not making any changes at half time. Just going to tell them to demand more from them. Try and get them a goal in the second half. 1,000 people are here to watch this game. It's not bad, especially for a non-league fixture. That was a terrible throw from Tien Darley. He is our current best player on the field by skill-wise and also by value. However, he's 34, so if he stays for more than a year, I'll be surprised. As I said, I'm probably going to look to end my contract at the end of this season, run down my contract, I should say, at the end of this season, and not reinstate it and re-sign, because it really does feel to me as a waste of time to do that. Because this isn't a club that is not going to succeed in a number of years. So I need to try and find a club that is going to succeed quickly and make up with a fairly good shot on the goal there, but just put it wide. As I said, yeah, we need to somehow find a way to get a better club. I'm looking mainly at Carlisle as an option, as they are a team that are going down, most likely. They're bottom of the League Two. They're clearly in a position of weakness in some areas of the team, and obviously they're not quite playing as well as they should be. So that is an option for me at the end of the season if they are still managerless, or they become re-managerless if the new manager gets them relegated anyway. Because if I'm not mistaken, that they start the season with a want of finishing in the top half of League Two, so relegation should be out of the question for any manager. Glip crossed the ball in, it's away by Jones, only as far as Maycock, who gets a beautiful volley in the goal though. And we do lead with 10 minutes to play in this game, and I'm going to praise them for that result and that scoreline, and go into a very defensive formation because we do not want to lose this game. I will also make 2 substitutions, one being Alex Whittle. As I said, he's not been playing well recently, and this is now the 4th game in a row he's had to come off due to playing poorly. And I'm also going to bring off Sam Osborne for Thomas Asante, who has been playing in the last 2 games because he was injured with a I think it was concussion. I think he was injured with. He got concussion in training from the goalkeeper, Crook. And we end the game with that 1-goal lead. Brilliant position for us now. We are in the second round, and we are able to make some form of income for this club for the future. So we'll play the Farsley Celtic game after this, and then we'll move on to playing a different, playing the next 3 games off screen, and then we'll come back after that, as most likely. £6,000, that's a fair bit. Matt Carter is injured for 6 weeks. Jesus. So we'll have to leave to physio. Unfortunately, we're going to have to run the team without Matt Carter in the middle, which is annoying because he is our best central midfielder. St Mirren make an offer for George Willis. That seems fair to me, £1,000. He's worth 3.9, but I'm not going to get that. There's no way they're going to accept an offer of £4,000 for him. And Sheffield will get £20. That's enough to buy a crate of beer in it. I wouldn't know. I don't actually drink a lot of beer, so yeah. But through to the second round, and the draw I think is tomorrow. I think. Done that calendar thing at the top. Or it should be anyway. Oh no, it's the 16th. The FA second round draw is, and I'm hoping we get a non-league team, as in a team who are in the Isthmian or lower, because I think that's probably our best opportunity of going forward. I think. Or at the very least, it's our best opportunity of getting a result of some kind. But yeah, we need to. I mean, this club has improved vastly under my management. I'm not saying I'm the reason for it. If anything, I think it's just the players that have been brought in that are the reason for it. I'm not making any different, just tactical changes. You know, I'm just in the team essentially. I'm not the one making these changes. Of course I'm not. No manager plays on the field unless they're a player manager, and I'm sure as hell not that. So, evidently, I'm not the reason. The reason is those players. Sure, you could make a case that say, you know, the players play better in a certain formation, or the players play better with certain other players, but they're still playing. That's the point. I don't like the idea of a manager being blamed for a defeat. It's not the manager's fault. It's never going to be the manager's fault for a defeat. You know, I don't understand how it could be. But it is a manager's fault when a team doesn't want to play well. That's where it comes into, I think. And thankfully this team does want to play well, as been shown in the last month and a bit, who have now gone unbeaten in 5 games. I don't really want to watch through the draw, and we've got Aldershot. So we are out of the FA Cup in the second, FA Trophy in the second round. There's no way we're getting through this. Although they are 20th, which means they are only 2 places, I believe, above relegation. I think that's the case. Yeah, only 2 places above relegation. So they're not drastically outside of our range of ability, but they're definitely not at our range of ability, and we have arranged extra time. So I believe that match is supposed to be played in January. I didn't actually read the message in the inbox. Anyway, so we're playing our game against Farsley Celtic on the 21st of December, and that will really cement the team on whether or not we are going to stay up. Right. You're drawn against them for the 11th of January. Okay. So the manager performance, obviously they're fairly happy with the performance. Boston United fixtures. We've got the fixture against Farsley. Then I'll play the 3 remaining December games before coming back to the Gateshead, Altrincham and Aldershot, and then so on and so forth. Obviously, if we get past Aldershot, we'll get a cup match, I think, at the end of January or the start of February, and then we'll keep going from there. But as you can see, the last 5 competitive games have all been victories. They haven't seen this kind of form yet this season, and that is what I'm happy with. That is what I'm glad I can see at this club again. I mean, prior to me joining the team, they hadn't actually had a run of 2 or more wins in a row since here, when they played York and Radcliffe were in the Northern Premier. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they are starting to win, because they are starting to get themselves in a position to remain in the division. And that's a great thing. That is a brilliant, brilliant thing. I believe that the Kidderminster game is the only game in the league that I haven't been able to get a goal from my team. So that's a good thing. Nathan Clark's a definite no. Alex Penny could be leaving on a free transfer to TNS in Wales. That's annoying. I may have to look into making him a proper contract deal, which I definitely can't afford that much. With a £100 appearance fee, give him £450 technically wage if he plays, and £75 clean sheet and a £25 unused sub fee. Okay, he would accept that deal, which means that hopefully Alex Penny will remain for us for the rest of the season, which is a good thing, because he is easily our second best right back. We just need to make sure he doesn't join TNS New Saints in Wales. They are the actual team that are dominating the Welsh leagues so far. But as you can see, they have not got great players. I mean, they've got a brilliant player here, 19-year-old Shaquille Winter-Coles, who scored 11 goals in 22 appearances at 19 years old. That's brilliant, you know. If I had that at this club, I'd be over the moon, ecstatic. But I don't. That's the thing, I don't have that player at this team. I probably never will. You know, I can scout him until I get full knowledge, but I'm never going to be able to get a player of his, scoring capabilities at my club without some form of monetary investment from the board. And I have tried multiple times to get a boost to the wage budget and a boost to the transfer budget, but nothing. Jamie Reynolds, okay. George Willis has left the club, which is good. We'll get £150 for the transfer budget from that deal. £150. That's not enough to even buy a player in this league. And that is just this league. It's not enough to buy a player in this league. That's atrocious. We don't have the funds at this club, unfortunately, to be able to continue the spending that has been done prior to me joining and then me joining. Club info, as you can see, they were in League 2 at one point, then they went down to the National North, out of the league entirely, and then up back here, and they've been in the National North since this year. And then, as you can see, they've been slowly dropping down. They haven't got higher than third once, alright? And I don't expect to ever get them up to that high in this season. I don't think I can at this point in time. I think it's just too late. But if you look at finances, look at this overall balance, just slowly stagnated. Bit of a spike here and then down. We lost £30,000 in that month. as you can see, the £28,950 we lost that month. Prior to that, we made 26,000, 12,000, 11,000, 19,000, and so on and so forth. We were making a loss of £8,000. It's all because of player wages. That is the biggest expenditure we're getting so far. And I mean, we can't, we got £7,500 being spent on wages and committing to spend 6,200. We can't afford that. We really can't. I mean, I can make a board request to try and boost the finances of the wage budget or something, but they will just say no. Because they're not in a financial position they can actually afford to do that with. So I'm going to have to move on. Because my entire mantra when it comes to playing Football Manager is that not that I can buy success, but that I can buy the seeds of success. In other words, I can buy youth facilities, I can buy young players, young prospects, I can buy training facilities. I can't do that here. Youth prospects I can only get in on a free transfer, and even then, not good ones. And it's, fair dues, and you can build a team yourself. But if you can build a club, that is the best bit. Building up a club is what you need to be doing in Football Manager, because you need stability in a team. You can't have a team of 30-year-old, £15 million players playing every week, because in a couple of years you're not going to have that anymore. You're going to have to start from the bottom, work your way back up again. I mean, that's what happened with teams up and down the country over the years, where they've had young teams and then they've just completely dropped off in talent once those players reach an age that is too old for them to continue playing as well as they had been. But obviously some teams do survive. Teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, they haven't had that problem because they can afford to buy a team rather than, prepare one. But then you get teams that aren't in that division. You get teams that are in League Two. Former Premiership sides like Swindon, a former Premiership side, believe it or not. And Bradford is a former Premiership side. Look how far they've dropped down. I mean, you have to look at this sort of thing. You have to notice that teams aren't going to be good forever. And Bradford were in the Premiership when I was alive. I'm only 20 years old. Well, I will be 20 years old by the end of the game. But yeah, I was alive to see Bradford in the Premiership. That's how recent it was. I mean, I was alive to see Blackpool in the Premiership. That's how recent that was. In 2011. I was in my last year of primary school then, These things happen so quickly. And then Blackpool went into an economic nosedive off a cliff because of the poor financial workings of the people that owned them. And as a result, they're in League One. So that's where Boston United need to change things. They need to get in an owner that's going to be able to buy facilities for them. It's going to be able to fund facilities and fund intake of players. Because when I brought up the development centre and the youth candidates, you can see here we've got a top prospect in the centre midfield. There is an attacking midfielder, one of our wingers. We have a forward. We have one good young English attacking midfielder. Apparently, it's a terrific group of players. We don't have any great number going through in any position. There's no defensive midfielders, no new wing backs, no full backs. Centre backs aren't looking good, and wide midfielders aren't looking good. If we can't afford to produce a crop of players effectively enough and efficiently enough with the funds we've got, we can't create a team that's going to be able to make a club self-sufficient and efficient at the production of players. I've realised I've probably been talking about this for far too long, so I'm going to stop now and I'm going to get back to playing football. And as you can see, 5-4 odds that we're going to beat Farsley. See, the thing is, despite the fact we're 20th in the league and they're 12th, despite the fact they have probably got better players, and despite the fact that they could be very well in the playoffs after they play us, we have got 5 wins in a row. They've got 4 losses and a draw, and their draw came against Bradford PA. We're at home, that gives us some form of advantage, not much. And they've got a player out called Tom Allen with a hamstring injury, but as you can see here, so I scouted him early in this season because I still had money then, and I hadn't signed T and Dime, that sort of thing. You look at him and he's not good. So, I mean, the Farsley team, they're not bad. Not by any stretch of the imagination, they're not bad. They are a team that could challenge promotion very easily. And very easily. You know, Jimmy Spencer, brilliant striker, £67,000 a week, £7 wet end value, only 28 years old, and 7 days. Turned 28 a week ago, not bad. But then you get players down the bottom here who don't play for no reason whatsoever, and they're not bad either. You know, 20-year-old goalkeeper, 3,900. You got 27-year-old right backs, £4,500 and £5,750 value. There's a 19-year-old centre mid on loan who's worth £4,500 from Crewe. You know, they're not a bad team. But apparently we're going to beat them. Doesn't mean I'm not going to keep off my defensive formation though. It's worked well for us the last 6 games. And as a result, if we win, we could go up another few places. I think 3 places I think is where we can go up to. Let me have a quick look. We're down here on 20 points. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Possibility of 4 players, but Altrincham, Gloucester would have to lose. Brackley would have to draw at best, and so would Geesley. So yeah, and the only way we can actually move down is if, you know, Spennymoor win by enough goals. So we're safe in the knowledge that we won't go down a place, most likely. But we have to make sure that if we do win, we win effectively enough to send us up a few places as well. I mean, we're almost guaranteed to go up at least 1 place with a win, because Geesley, I think, are playing Kings Lynn, and I think they're in the playoff places still, but I could be wrong. And Bradford PA apparently are loaning in a Port Vale player, so could be playing against them when we play them in 3 days. Alf Fratton's playing Kings Lynn, okay, that's good. Altrincham playing Spennymoor, even better. These 2 aren't required. Brackley, they're playing Chester, it's almost a guaranteed win for Chester. Gloucester are playing Southport again, almost a guaranteed win for Southport. And apparently Geesley aren't playing. Huh. Oh wait, no, Curzon Ashton playing Bradford PA on that Saturday, yeah. Why isn't Geesley playing? They've got a game in hand. I don't know. I thought they would play. Right, Matt Carter. So we've got Andy Thanoy that can come in. But I don't think he's experienced enough in the position. I don't think he's, to put it bluntly, good enough in the position. But he is our only other central midfielder. Other than Bulford. I mean, he's our only central midfielder that's scored a goal. And that's what we really need at the minute, goal scorers. This team is working beautifully in the formation. I mean, we could do a bit better down here, and I probably will learn from my mistake last week and put Jackson in to start this game, and probably for a couple games afterwards. A bit annoying there, major issues apparently. Yeah, there's no one really on the team that's going to be blocking this point, but if they go through here, they've got to get through a strong defensive position here as well. So that is somewhat lucky we got that in there. So we'll submit this team. Columbia will get the captain's armband, that's fine. He is, I think, our oldest player. I think he's 34, same as T and Dime. I think he's slightly older. A couple of months, I think. So then, Farsley versus Boston United. Ooh, it's a yellow card. Oh no, it's just a warning for Thanoy. But it's a free kick for Farsley just outside our box. And it's a good save from Columbia. Gets the ball out for a corner kick. And Farsley are pressing immediately from the get-go. Osborne now with the ball. Kicks the ball along the right wing. Pulls the ball back a bit to the defenders. Long ball forward from Tian Darley. Can't reach Dallas, however. And that's the end of the highlight, apparently. Yeah, so we are guaranteed to go up at least one place if we don't lose, obviously, because if Geesley are playing, then they can't get any points, and they'll be stuck on 21 points. Oh, Kalambe catches that bam free kick in the air. Okay, so with a win, at the minute, we'll go up to 17th place, if all other results stay the same. But it's only been 12 minutes, that's unlikely. Alright, let's try and tell the team to get a bit creative. Oh, Dallas with a good touchdown there. Fortunately, he's closed down by 2 defenders though and pulls it out wide instead. Osborne now with the ball. Tries to have a shot, but it's saved with one hand by Saban. It's a good name actually for a goalkeeper, Saban. Okay, so we've had one shot there, 4, and yet arguably we've had the better play of the ball. We are now pulling our shots back, but not our shots on target, which is a bit annoying. Okay, more creative again now. But I'm just looking to try and make this team, get a few results prior to the new year under our belt as well. Not just a couple of results in November, that's not really going to be useful. And Jimmy Spencer has just thrown my entire plan out the window because he has just scored a goal. And we now drop back down to 20th because we are not getting a point anymore. So we'll probably bring off Dallas and Brown at the half and then leave a substitute available in case someone gets injured like they did last time. So Brown off for Walker, Dallas off for Fundy. Fundy is a poacher, so that should be fine there. And yeah, there's no other real players playing Bailey except for Jackson, but Jackson only substitutes Will, and I don't really feel safe bringing Will on when we're losing. So I'm going to get them to show some passion straight from the get-go. Naskins with a long ball out to the right wing, and it's a terrible pass. No one gets to it, and Hayhurst runs straight past Osborne. And Herdman runs straight past Naskins and puts it wide. We were let off very, very badly then. Let's just hope that Walker and Fundy can help out, either at the back or up front, and actually get a few goals under their belts in this game. And Walker just lost the ball out to Atkinson, so probably a no to that. Spencer gets the ball, barely keeps it on himself. Richards now with the ball, swings a cross in. It's away by Naskins, only as far as Hayhurst, who scores another goal for Farsley. So our winning streak's over. I think at this point in time it's a guarantee that that's now over. I'm going to keep us on defensive just for the purpose of making sure we don't go any much further down. I don't really want to see us go 3 or 4-0 down. So defensive will keep us hopefully in the game. Actually no, you know what? Let's go attacking. Go attacking for the last 25 minutes and try and pull off a comeback in the last 20 minutes of this game. It's not without reason and without possibility we could do this. Thigh with the header away, only as far as Blaney. We've got McGlip now with the ball in the middle, pass the ball forward looking for Fundy. Fundy back to Naskins. A ball on the wing, looks for Osborne. Doesn't reach and gets to Heath instead. With a long ball forward from Heath to Spencer though. And it's saved by Makalambe. And Jackson now pulls the ball out to the left wing. See the highlight. Throwing now for for Farsley. Hayhurst to Heath. Ball forward by Heath to Herdman to Spencer. Ball out to the right wing for Richards, but it's away by Jackson. Walker now with the ball. Walker runs down the left wing. Keeps the ball for himself. Tries to get a cross in, but completely wasted. Jackson now passed the ball forward to Walker, who probably was in an offside position. And he just tries the exact same thing again and fails again. Spencer. Ball forward through the middle for Herdman, but he won't beat... Yes, he will beat Naskins because Naskins tries something stupid. Yeah, this game has definitely not gone in our favour. And by the fact that our midfield is uninterested in the result, just proves the point that, yeah, Farnoy was not the option that I wanted to put in. Southern with a goal kick. Tiandali, sorry, head the ball forward. Blaney with the ball to Hayhurst. Back to Heath. To Blaney and forward to Hayhurst. And it's a shot and it's saved by Calambe. If it wasn't for Calambe, we would be about 4 or 5 goals down by now. And that would be the worst thing. But a 2-0 defeat to Farsley. It's our first league game that I've managed where we haven't actually managed to score when the opposition had scored more than once. And annoyingly, also puts an end to a 6-game unbeaten run. Admittedly, a friendly is in there as well. But a 6-game winning streak has come to an end, thanks to a very annoying Farsley Celtic. So, I'm going to call this video here. We'll be back for the game against Gateshead on the 4th. And until then, goodbye.